Good morning. It's Monday, and I'm going to pre-record some of these psalms as I may be traveling over the next week or so. And so we are finishing up Psalm 103 this morning. As I told you, it was one of my favorite psalms. The first 5 verses talk about ascribing to God, praising God because of His redemption, His healing, His forgiveness, how He satisfies us. The next section, beautiful, 6, 7, 8, the Lord is compassionate, gracious, slow to anger, abounding in love. These are the words given from one generation to the next. What's God like? What's His nature? Slow to anger, abounding in love, filled with compassion, separating our sin far as the east is from the west. But here's how this psalm concludes. So beautiful. As the Father has compassion on His children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear Him. For He knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust. The life of mortals is like grass. They flourish like a flower of the field. The winds blow over it, and it's gone, and its place remembers it no more. But from everlasting to everlasting, the Lord's love is with those who fear Him, and His righteousness with their children's children, with those who keep His covenant and remember to obey His precepts. The Lord has established His throne in heaven, and His kingdom rules over all. Praise the Lord, you angels, you mighty ones who do His bidding, who obey His word. Praise the Lord, all His heavenly hosts, you His servants who do His will. Praise the Lord, all His works, everywhere in His dominion. Praise the Lord, my soul. Okay, well, it hardly needs any commentary, but it's beautiful, isn't it? This idea of having compassion on us, knowing who we are, knowing our frailty, knowing our finiteness, yet still choosing to be compassionate. He knows the length of our days. He knows our breath is fleeting. But from everlasting to everlasting, the Lord's love is with those who fear Him. His righteousness with His children's children, right? This is a psalm of legacy, of seeing our lives in the context, the greater context, and the love of God overarching all of them. And so grandfather, father, me, children, grandchild, great-grandchild, we're all in this process. And all of us experience the love of God, and all of us experience the compassion of God, the mercy of God, the fear of the Lord as we grow in it, this idea to reverence God, to turn to Him, to look to Him for our needs. We experience God's goodness. And I love how this concludes. It's not a picture of us, it's a picture of God. It's God who's established His throne in heaven. His kingdom rules over all. So like we're giving ourselves to this one who loves us. He doesn't need to. We're so insignificant, but He loves us and gives us grace and gives us sustenance. He meets our needs, and we're caught up in this thing that God's doing. And that thing that God's doing is His kingdom. This greater reality, Him being over all, His dominion over all things. And this is evoking in us praise. This is a day where you're finding maybe your mortality is before you, your weakness, your insufficiency, your inability to control the world, your inability to make it give you what you want, right? You come to the end of yourself. Psalms like this say, listen, that's okay. You don't have much power. You won't have an everlasting life in this world. So you look to God, you place yourself under Him, He pours out His compassion on you, and you're caught up in this beautiful thing that God's doing, part of His kingdom and His dominion. I hope that's an encouragement to you today. Grace and peace.